I was on Lolcow podcast today. If you aren't aware, it's a podcast that's run by Keemstar, Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and Tommy C. I was asked by Keemstar personally today that I come on. Despite me having a day of plans ahead of me, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I actually run a wrestling school. I dropped what I was doing, made arrangements to stay home and get on this podcast. Now, I already knew what it was about. It was about the drama between ReviewTechUSA and myself. I'm sure you're quite aware of the videos that I've been making. So I was like, okay, cool. We're going to get a chance to address this. I know ReviewTech was trying to get me on his channel, but I didn't want to do it on his channel. I wanted to do it on somewhere that I thought would be neutral. My mistake thinking that I could do it on the Lolcow podcast. You see, I was going in thinking that there would actually be a conversation, but within the first 2 minutes, I quickly learned otherwise. Tommy C., who I have no idea who he is, never seen his content in my life, instantly interrupted me after Keemstar said for me to give my take on things starting at the beginning. Immediately, he was interrupting like, oh, this is so boring. This is stupid. If it's stupid and boring, why are you guys scrambling for guests every week? Why is it every Wednesday you guys are still scrambling for a docket to get guests on your show? It's because, Tommy,
Fallout's happening.
I didn't get to finish my tale.
You're going to do this the whole time? God, you guys can't even talk. God, fucking, just one guy going at a time, for Christ's sake.
Well, I mean, I was in the middle of my story.
Shut the fuck up and do it!
All right. So, you and Wings can't carry a show unless there's some kind of drama that you guys are trying to shit on. And you guys need to realize the guests that you're having on, as irrelevant and gay as you think they are, they're helping you out. They are helping you out. What would you have done today if I didn't come on? You would have had Rich again by himself being a complete snooze fest. So yeah, you could say I took an L or whatever you want. The fact of the matter is, I was asked to give my side of the story, and I thought we were going to have a full-fledged conversation here, and I was interrupted.
But I'm just saying I have. But why are you taking pot shots? I'm not.
So
I'm
four out of your last 12 videos have been about Rich. So
Rich,
like, why
you're skipping shit, and you're not going into detail of why I'm saying stuff.
So say what I'm skipping. So what did I skip that was so?
If you would shut up and let me finish my story, I would tell you.
Okay.
So Wings didn't interrupt as much. He gave his opinion and his thoughts, but unfortunately, he couldn't hear my full side of the story. On top of that, I knew Rich was coming. That's why immediately I said, "Where's Rich at?" I knew the ambush was coming, but silly me for thinking that there was going to be an actual discussion to talk about things. Because right when I started talking, Rich, his quote of the day was, "Can you pause for 1 second, Eric?" Where you came on and you were talking about the voice messages where Jay tried to say that you said horrendous things.
Okay, now pause a second. That was because I was in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Next minute he's cool, the next minute he's not. He's avoiding talking about that.
No, I'm not.
Acting like he's done nothing.
Pause 1 second. I did not do that.
This was the first time they made up, because I think Rich was originally going to come on Lolcow that day. They made up, and I was like, all right, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, okay. Pause 1 second. Let me say my point before I forget it. And then I thought about things, and I left Jay DM.
And he would skip ahead to stuff that's going on this week. When they want to know my full side of the story, how come they aren't letting me talk about what happened back in February, which is where the first video of mine came up. February 23rd, I posted the video in response to what I saw on Rich's Facebook. Let me reiterate again. I never had a problem that he fired Jay. I had a problem that he went on Facebook and called him a parasite. I have every right to voice my opinion about that. He's a public figure. How come he can make videos about Wings, Boogie, Tipster, even Keemstar, but the second somebody else does it on him, he becomes completely unhinged? Now, he was trying to say he's not bothered about it.
Well, first off, the incessant videos, and I sent you the original Facebook posts. Now, yeah, those shouldn't have been up there. But Eric, beyond that, what wasn't behind the scenes? What happened that was so heinous that you needed to make, I don't even know how many videos, and you were live streaming last. I haven't responded to anything. You could definitely look on Twitter. I have not, what has been like 5+ days. I haven't even posted. I posted something about Twitch today.
Oh, we're skipping ahead because I was
Okay.
telling you my point, what happened. So you said, I'm going to
Eric,
hit Rich.
Eric, I haven't watched any videos, dude. I don't care.
Okay, that's cool because nobody watches you either anymore, apparently. About it, Rich, if you weren't bothered about me making videos, you wouldn't have been demanding me to be on your live stream.
Absolutely.
No, I was going after you for going after me. I stopped talking about Jay at that point.
It
It was no longer about Jay.
Oh my
It
God,
was about
who
me.
cares?
So am I not allowed to make
Who
videos about
cares?
you?
Who cares? But you're making it like Jay's my friend. You literally, and I have to defend him, dude. It's a business thing that happened. That's it, and that's all it is.
The business thing that happened in public.
I don't give a
But
shit if you fired him or not.
Wait.
And I couldn't say any of this during Lolcow today because anytime I tried to talk, I was being told by Tommy and by Rich that I was gay and that I was wasting time. And Keemstar was even like, "This is so stupid."
Wait, 2 seconds.
But hold
Guys,
on. The only thing
this,
that was
2 seconds. Guys, this beef is so fucking dumb and so.
Oh my God, it's so is. It's so is. I so agree with you.
This beef is so. This beef is so
Big
retarded.
babies.
It's hilarious. Like,
They weren't allowing me to talk at all. I couldn't even get like a full complete sentence out. And then they were like, "Oh, you're interrupting everybody." Because I was being interrupted by each and every single one of you guys. You asked me to be a guest on there. And I couldn't even be a guest. I couldn't even tell my side of the story. I couldn't even talk.
I played the DMs live on stream, and they were only mine. There was nothing.
I'm not
on
talking
Jay's
about the
NSD.
DMs with Jay. I'm talking about the DMs you had with me up there. I never said they were horrendous. I was just giving my opinion. Last time I checked, I'm allowed to make my own opinion about a public figure. I couldn't even get that out. Tommy, oh, yeah, well, public figure. Is Tommy C's shtick to be the drunk, grumpy guy that doesn't want to be there? Because he sure does well at it. He was probably the biggest asshole I've met in my life. No clue who he was, clearly just trying to pick up a paycheck. He has nothing to the show. Nothing to the show at all.
But you were in my chat, and then you were posting about it afterwards.
You were
so
already
obviously you had
talking
time.
about me, so I came in and said, thanks. I got the clip I needed because I was going to milk you for a clip that I needed.
At least you admitted. Good for you.
Oh my God. People make YouTube videos to get views. That's news to me. I mean, Keemstar didn't do a drama alert for over a decade, right?
You were detracting.
March 6th to March 19th, when ReviewTech had a complete meltdown over me, called me a talentless hack, said all this stuff about me, and Tommy's like, oh, poor you. He said this about you. That wasn't the point. Instead of being a fucking cocksucker, you should see the reason why I made the video was to fire back at ReviewTech. Oh, but you guys are making views. You literally are in a podcast with the king of guys that makes videos for views. Have you heard of Drama Alert the last decade? Keemstar. I thought Keemstar, that if anybody would have known the game, that you start beef with somebody, you rebuttal back and forth, and you get views. I thought out of anything, Keemstar would have understood that. But for Wings of Redemption to be like, you're just doing this for views. Yeah. I even told him that thing. Yeah, I'm doing it for views. Oh, well, it seems like your views are low. Wings, I'm not trying to say that was snarky or rude because that's ebbs and flow of YouTube. I've never said that my channel was some big, huge channel that I thought was great and was doing good. But if we're going to talk stats and stuff, you have 5 times the audience of me, and you fell off too. So why punch down? Why don't you just encourage people and try to hear the full conversation about what's going on with sides? It seemed like all you guys were already planning on ganging up on me, which smart of Jay not to go on to Lolcow the week before. I was warned by people, but I was like, no, I got to come on here to neutral ground. I got to make an appearance. I got to talk. And stupid me, I thought I was going to have a good conversation and settle things out. But no, these guys didn't want to hear it. They wanted fighting and arguing. Rich deflected the whole entire time like he did nothing wrong at all. Oh, well, why don't you just say that you're doing this? And he was getting his timetables wrong. He's acting like I made daily videos when I had February 23rd, 24th, March 6th, March 19th. I didn't make any daily videos, until he did his cheap shots at me on the PSVR 2 video. From then, it's fair game. Again, this is from somebody that milked Quantum TV. This is from somebody that milked Pat the NES Punk. This is somebody that milks the Quartering. This is somebody that milks Melanie Mac. And he couldn't take it because I'm a smaller channel. He couldn't take it. What did he want me to say? Okay, Rich, I won't make videos about you anymore. No. But if you're asking somebody to give their side, and I'm saying this to the host of the Lolcow podcast, you should at least hear them out before you start acting like you're some kind of entitled prick when you're begging for guests to come on your show weekly. You guys are literally on the day of trying to make a docket of guests to come on. So you could at least have a little bit of decorum, a little bit more professionalism. These guys didn't even listen to anything. They invited me on. They wanted to find out the drama. They were clueless about it. And then they didn't even want to hear the side about it. Ridiculous. I've never seen a more unorganized podcast. Oh, you're doing these videos for views. Hey, welcome to YouTube. People make content so it can get viewed. That's not the problem. If you really didn't think that me making videos about you was a problem, you wouldn't be complaining about it having views. That's the issue, ladies and gentlemen. Rich has an issue because it is getting views. If it wasn't getting views, he would not be crying about me making videos about him. And I couldn't even utter that out. Anytime I tried to talk, I was getting interrupted, not just by Tommy, but by Keem, by Rich. Nobody was letting me talk. And then after the March 6th live stream that Rich had, him and Jay made up again. And again, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm out of this. You could go and watch the video. I was trying to explain this to the Lolcow podcast, and I guess if you're not spurging at each other, you're not calling each other retards, you're not fighting incoherently and just causing drama, they don't want anything to do with actual real conversation. My bad on that. Lesson learned. Instead of actually discussing the topic and letting people hear out and talk, they clearly went in already talking to Rich. I'm almost 110% believing Rich told them his side last week, and then before today, they talked, which is why I was like, hey, Keem, let me ask you a question. Before you invited me on, who did you talk to today? I know that this was all premeditated. They already came in with a bias. They weren't going to let me talk. It was a lion's den, but I didn't back down. Whether you think this was an L or not, I went in.
Are you milking this situation with Rich? Because, like, I saw a video on your channel, and you were like, "I'm feared for my life. Rich is coming to get me."
Yeah,
like
that was 110%. That video yesterday was 110% satire.
I know,
you
but
can't tell me that the clip.
But you're milking it, is what he's saying.
but what's that based off of? Did he threaten you?
Did you not see the clips in the video?
No,
where
I
he's
clicked
just saying
off.
the weird stuff.
I would
saying
just.
the weird stuff.
What were you?
Like
what was he saying?
What was I saying?
Because for whatever reason, he brought up Melanie Mac when he was ranting against me, when he was all like, you're a fucking simp. You defend Melanie Mac, you fucking simp. She's not going to fuck you, which had nothing to do with it. And again, I tried to bring that up. And that's when they had this bright idea, oh, let's bring Melanie Mac on. That's Eric's crush. I had zero clue what that had to do with anything. But bring her on. Okay, let's see if Rich will talk to Melanie Mac.
Melanie,
So
I just watched
Melanie,
the
I
clip
don't
of
mean
you.
to interrupt, but you saw the other day for no reason he just suddenly just like melted down
Look
at
at
me
this
and
simp
said,
shit.
Oh
Melanie
God,
Mac is
man,
not going to
this guy's
fuck you, you
awful.
fucking simp, for like no reason.
Well, I think usually when people resort to those types of insults, they can't really stay on the topic at hand. And if you defend anybody, it's automatically, oh, you want to sleep with this person.
No, I called
So
him.
Melanie Mac comes on, Rich clamps up. He had a lot to say when she wasn't around. He tried to debate the Bible with her, which is funny for people that aren't Christians. They try to quote scripture against somebody that reads the Bible. I don't know how that works. But either way, she totally owned them. And I was surprised they actually let her talk, which also led me to further believe that they already went in biased against me because they've been talking to Rich on the down low. They let her talk because they didn't have a rebuttal to it. They did not have a rebuttal at all to her. And there was a few cringe moments. You know, Tommy tried to talk about her being sleeveless and super cringe.
Need to be updated. It's all there. Like we're seeing it. We're seeing it unfold.
Are you going to go to St. Peter dressed like that?
Yeah, and the Book of Jen said the
Dress
lion
up.
doesn't.
What, and,
know.
and is showing arms provocative or something?
I didn't say that. I just said you can go dressed like that.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. You look good, by the way.
Like, why is Tommy even on the show? This is my first time really tuning in, but why is Tommy on the show? It's somewhere in the middle of all this, he brought up somebody else that had nothing to do with the situation. He was like, oh, 8-Bit Eric simps for Destiny FOMO too. That tells you the type of person Rich is. And they dared to call me an incel when Rich is the one that's attacking females. Call me a simp for that. But I actually respect women a lot more than Review Tech does.
What's wrong with them?
But he was getting in a
Pretty
whole
hot.
like Twitter like debate about who's hotter, and it's like it's kind of weird behavior.
Show me the
Yeah.
receipt,
I mean,
man.
I think I don't understand.
He did that with
even
Destiny
as-
FOMO too.
okay, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal whether people think
but
somebody's
people-
hotter
and-
than someone else.
Team. And you know what? I'm pretty sure Destiny FOMO considered Review Tech a close friend, and he said that line unwarranted towards her. What's that say about Review Tech? Is he really friends with people, or does he just use you until he doesn't need you anymore? I thought Keem was a over 40-year-old gentleman that actually would like to have an intelligent discourse and an intelligent conversation and debate, but it doesn't seem like that's what he wants. He wants lowbrow entertainment. He wants people fighting each other. Lesson learned, especially when dealing with somebody like Tommy. And Wings wasn't that bad, but he was a little clueless. And that was the thing that got me on that, is these guys were asking guests to come on, and they weren't even aware of what was going on. And then they were real rude and misinformed about it.
Wait, guys.
Okay, but
I
did I
can
say
promise
anything
you,
about
I
that?
can promise you, nobody actually cares about the details. They care
Yeah.
about the general story of this beef between the two of you.
All right,
they don't
cool.
care about, well, you sent me this message on that time. Bro, no one in the chat cares. I don't care.
No,
Wings
but
don't
this
care.
is-
No one cares.
This is the thing. After that, they deflected when I called Rich out on using alt accounts to troll donate to JKB. He admitted to it, by the way, guys. On this stream, he admitted that he was Michelle So Gucci and that he was trolling JKB, but I know he denied coming on my channel last night under alts. But that's the whole thing, is that Rich came in, had these guys convinced about his side of the story, that I was some detractor when I'm not. I was defending a friend. When Rich brought me in and started going personal, I started firing back. Wings, I'm not a detractor. Everybody to you is a detractor. I'm really close friends. I could call Boogie right now. You could talk to Boogie about the kind of person that I am. I'm not a detractor. To everyone that interacts with you, Wings, you think they're detractors. You think all of them are detractors. No. When I got pulled in to this, when Review Tech started taking cheap shots at me, saying that I was a fucking simp, that I was talentless hack, and that he's going to get me and expose DMs and stuff, I had every right to talk about it. That's what my YouTube platform is. You don't have to like it. Tommy don't have to like it. Keem don't have to like it. Rich don't have to like it. But if you're inviting guests onto your podcast, why don't you act like you're 40 years old, every single one of you, and actually listen to their sides? So you could say I took a massive L because I was losing my cool a little bit because Tommy was probably the most insufferable piece of crap I've met in my life. And I thought it was very unprofessional to ask somebody to come on your show and interrupt them constantly and downplay their side of the story. Thought that was completely unprofessional. Let an actual news television station, let an actual newspaper, let somebody that's an actual journalist handle a conversation like that. I should have left within the last 5 minutes, but I kept thinking in the back of my head, we're going to have a conversation. No, it turned into bringing Melanie Mac in and somehow devolving it into setting us up on a date.
Look at Eric over here. He's clearly got a crush, and he won't even like
Yeah.
try.
Did you
to
just
get a
call
date.
Eric an incel?
Hey,
How does that make
be
somebody an
coincidence?
incel?
But
does
you
that make
won't even
somebody an
try to get a date. Like, we set you up.
Yeah,
you have
Jesus,
like
What does that
no
have anything to
riz.
do-
Team, are you going to make me defend Eric here a little bit? Yes, you are. Before you get
Look at these shit. You
Well,
about to blush.
I appreciate the thought, but I'm not on here to go on dates
Yeah.
right
yeah,
now.
this isn't matchmaking right here.
Yeah,
I thought she was coming on so Rich could tell her how he feels about
No,
her.
I understand it, and I'm
I
sorry
said
that
it.
I'm sorry that I put you in this position because, like, honestly, he should have jumped all over that, and that was rude for him.
I have respect for women more than any of you guys
Oh,
do.
Oh God, yes,
God.
yes,
Hey, where's your fucking fedora?
yes. Women really like the respect guy. They love
It's a
that.
lot cooler if you asked her.
Like that's the low form effort that Lolcow podcast has, that instead of actually having an intelligent conversation to discuss an issue between two people, clear the air, and make things kumbaya again, it devolved into grown men picking on the only female in the whole entire call about her religious faith, about the way her tattoos are, her clothes, and then trying to go total cringe mode and set up somebody else on the panel on a date with her. That wasn't the time or place. Rich constantly runs his mouth about Melanie Mac. In fact, within the hour of the Lolcow podcast ending, he uploaded a clip about her being transphobic. But I'm the obsessed one because I'm making videos about ReviewTechUSA. You guys need to open your eyes a lot more and have more of a, I guess, logical thought when it comes to having a conversation. A complete echo chamber like none other. And I'm quite frankly, lesson learned, disappointed. I'm glad that I didn't go on Rich's channel one-on-one because that probably would have been even worse. But shame on me for believing that these guys had a genuine interest in trying to talk this thing out and solve it. Very shame on me. Rich, I'm not going to stop making videos of you when you deserve criticism. If you do something fucked up, whether it's to Jay, to Cornering, to Melanie, to Stuttering Craig, to DSP, to Pat the NES Punk, anybody, I'm going to call you out on it. The reason why it's an issue for you is you said it yourself, because it gets views. That's why it's an issue to you. You don't like people calling you out on your bullshit? I'm going to do it. So if me not trying to pick up Melanie Mac for a date and me getting interrupted made the situation an L, call it cope, call it me doom scrolling. I know most of the people that are detractors of all the Lolcow podcast and Rich and even myself, they just wanted to see spurging at each other. And I wasn't about that. I went on wanting to have a discourse and it didn't happen. So take it for what you want. Lesson learned.